Today we are going to learn about fractional parts. A fraction is an equal part of something. Parts are pieces that make up a whole. So we have a circle that has two shares on both of these circles, but only one of my shares is colored in on top. If I want to name only one of those shares, here are three different ways I could name one of those shares. I could say 1/2, or I could say 1 out of 2 equal parts. 1 out of 1, 2 equal parts. If I'm looking at both of my halves colored in, both of my shares, I could say it's 2/2 or 2 out of 2 equal parts. If I'm looking at a circle that's divided into 3 shares and only one of my shares is colored in, I could say that's 1/3 or 1 out of the 1, 2, 3 parts that are colored in. If I want to look at 2 of my shares, I could say that's 2/3 or 2 out of 3 equal parts. 1, 2 out of 1, 2, 3 equal parts. If all of my parts are colored in, I could say that's 3/3 or 3 out of 3 equal parts. 1, 2, 3 out of 1, 2, 3 equal parts. Now that I have a circle that's divided into 4 equal shares, if I'm looking at one of the parts that are colored in, I could say that's 1/4 or 1 out of 4 equal parts. If I'm looking at 2 shares colored in, I could say that's 2/4 or 2 out of 4 equal parts. If I'm looking at 3 shares that are colored, I could say that's 3/4 or 3 out of 4 equal parts. And if I'm looking at all 4 of my shares colored in, I could say that's 4/4 or 4 out of 4 equal parts. We want to make sure that we are still counting the ones that are colored in because it's still divided into 4 equal parts. Today, your objective is I can partition 4 rectangles and name one share for each shape. I will draw lines to divide my shape equally, then name one part and all of the parts. I'm going to divide the hexagon into 6 equal parts. So I'm going to start by drawing a line across my hexagon. From here, I think I'm going to try to do a diagonal, maybe from this corner down to the bottom corner. So right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 parts, but they aren't equal. So I'm going to try to get 6 equal parts. Maybe I'm going to try to do my other diagonals. Okay, looks like I have equal parts. Now let's count to make sure we have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect, I have 6. So I need to write a name for one of my parts. If I'm only looking at one of my triangles colored in, I could say that one part is 1, and then I have to count all of my parts. There's 1 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 1 out of 6. Now, if I want to name all of the parts, well, I know that would be a whole, or I could say that is, if I'm looking at all of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 out of 6. Okay, now I'm going to divide the circle into 4 equal parts. This time I have to show 2 different ways. All right, so maybe I'm going to try to draw a line down my circle. I have 2 equal parts so far. I need 4. So what if I cut this side in half and do the same on the other side? 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 parts, but if I look closely, I don't think those are equal. I can't divide a circle like that because it is not equal parts. So I need to erase, and I'm going to try it a different way. I'm going to draw a line down the middle like I just did because I know I have equal parts. But instead of drawing a line up and down again, maybe I'll try to draw it across. Okay, that looks equal, doesn't it? So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 equal parts. I need to show it a different way. I cannot draw a line up and down and across because I already have it like that. I know I can't draw 3 lines up and down because those would mean my parts are not equal. So maybe I'll try to draw another diagonal. Those parts are equal, and then if I cross it over, it looks like I have 1, 2, 3, 4 equal parts. Now, if I want to write the name for one of my parts, well, I could say that is 1, and then total, I have 4. I could call that 1/4. If I want to name all of my parts, I could say that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 4/4. 4 out of 4 total parts, or that's also called a whole. Now it's your turn. On the next slide, you can go ahead and complete this page. You're going to divide the rectangles, the top ones, into 2 equal parts, these into 3 equal parts. And then you're going to write a name for one part and write a name for all of the parts. Remember that fractional parts have to be equal.